Hi, and welcome back to This Could Be a Podcast. You're back with Jen and Peter. And
Hello.
It's another episode.
Here we are again. We've got quite a bit of news kind of for this episode, I think.
Yeah,
Got some updates.
So the main theme of the episode is like nostalgia and talk about our childhood, but where we both have updates. So I have a ghost update, of course. And
I've got a dental update. Oh, the dentist.
Adulting. You go first.
I see that you're back on your Pinot Grigio.
Oh, yes.
Pinot Grigio?
So, Grigio. I don't know if I mentioned this on...
You must have.
Like, on the actual podcast, or if it was during...
Could have been
when we were
just talking. Yeah.
But so, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I always get Pinot Grigio, and they raised the price, and it became like a like fourth shelf wine. I don't do fourth shelf wine. I do bottom shelf wine.
Is it?
It's by price.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Is that legit?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I did
not know that. Do you look at the prices when you buy alcohol?
Oh, I do, but I don't like examine like what is where. Like I just go for like the most budget wine I can find. That's not like okay, because like I don't go for the absolute budget because I've learned better. Like the
the cotton wine.
Okay, even worse than that, like that branded like €2 like co-op wine or like jumbo wine, like the branded ones. Those are bad. And then you're like, oh my god, you're getting so much wine and it's so cheap. And when you wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, that's why.
The hangover is always 10 times worse.
It's so bad on those. It's always so bad.
But so since the price got raised, I wasn't drinking it, I think, for the past episode or maybe past 2 episodes. And then I went into the shop today. They lowered the price again. Yeah. I think I am the sole
you're the only person buying it.
For Pinot Grigio.
It's like you're the only person on the planet who's buying this specific wine, and they're like keeping track of you.
They are. I genuinely think they were like, oh, we have now overstocked. We need to lower the price.
Jen didn't buy it this week, guys. We gotta.
They've been keeping an eye on me.
You've been making them plenty of money, I guess. I mean, considering you buy it at minimum once a week.
Yeah. Oh God. They owe me money at this point.
You're like their product tester.
Literally. My God. But go on with your dental update.
I'll start. So when did it start?
Because we didn't know if we could even record.
Yeah, because well, the thing is, I'd never gotten. Okay, I'll just start from the beginning. So, what was it? It was on Thursday, I think it was. I think it was Thursday, which we usually record on Saturdays for context, and then last week's episode comes out on the Sunday after. It's a little bit confusing, but it's kind of our system. And on Thursday, I just woke up and I had a bit of a toothache. I was just like, just a bit of toothache, but like everyone gets a toothache from now and then, and usually it just goes away. Was
it enough that you needed like painkillers?
Not at first. No, at first it was totally fine. Like I woke up and it was just like, a little bit of a toothache, and then what did I do that day? I think I had online class. Yeah, I did. And then we had like basically my class lasts from like 8 or 9 until 6 usually. It's been a rough week.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's been a really rough week in terms of class. Anyways,
can't relate.
But but usually at around 12 or 1, we would get like an hour long break. And I was like, okay, I can go buy some groceries. So I fucked off. Went to the local grocery store. Bought some groceries. On the way back, I was like, my tooth is hurting a little bit still. It's got like a little bit worse. I was like, okay. When I go home, what I usually do is if I do have like a toothache, I found that mouthwash really helps. Because like it kills all the bacteria that's like so like I figured it was just like something's just irritating my gums or whatever, and that's why it's hurting. So I went home, had some mouthwash, and then it got really bad. So I think the mouthwash really pissed off.
It might have irritated it.
It really irritated, and then I got a really bad toothache, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, what do I do? So then I got salt water. Like do you know like the salt, like you put salt into like medium warmth?
Yeah, like lukewarm water, and it like disinfects.
And then you like slosh it in your mouth, and then you can like spit it out, and it's supposed to help. And it did help, but like the thing with me is that I knew it was so bad. Like if you know me, you know that I don't go to the dentist until I absolutely have to. I hate going to the dentist. There's nothing more in this world that I despise going to the dentist.
I mean, you're meant to go twice a year. I never go twice a year.
Like I get these emails saying, okay, it's time for your half-yearly checkup. And I'm like,
no.
For me, it's more like a yearly checkup because I put it off for so long until Nicole like forces me to go. Basically, she's like, "You should really go to the dentist." And I'm like, no, but I like, if you know me, I really hate going to the dentist, and I will avoid it at any cost.
Are you afraid of it?
Absolutely,
Oh,
terrified.
okay.
Dude. It's because when I was younger, I had all kinds of issues with my teeth, and I would have to go in like every couple weeks because like to get fillings, to get teeth removed. Like I hated it. I was actually hospitalized for 11 days once because I had an infected tooth and the infection spread to the rest of my jaw.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was bad. So like I hate it.
Damn.
So I was like, okay, I really have to go though. There's no way around it, you know? It was so bad that I was like, okay, I'm just going to give them a call and see when they're available.
Yeah.
And I called them up and they're like, yeah, the only time that we have like available is today actually. And it was like an hour from now. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, bye.
I'll go. 'Cause it was so bad. I was like, yeah, I have to go today.
Yeah.
You know, there's just like, yeah.
Did you go to Studentist?
Yeah, they're really good.
They are really
they are
good.
And they moved to a new office, which I didn't know of, and it's super professional and really nice.
Where is it now? Is it still in the center?
No, it's actually, like, you know, if you were to go to Harmony from my house, I'm not going to give my exact address to the internet, but it's basically on this little canal kind of. It's where that bridge is that connects Harmony to like the north part of the city.
Yeah,
they're literally there now.
Right.
But on like the northern side of the city. Oh. So like literally like 2 minutes from here. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And yeah, so I basically went there, and like I kind of knew that I was going to have to get a root canal. I kind of knew because...
Have you had a root canal? I assume you have.
No.
Oh, because you said you had other work done.
Yeah, no, I have, but I've somehow my entire life managed to avoid it. There's been a lot of close calls.
I'm not even sure what a root canal is.
Okay, I'll describe it.
I've never even... Is it like they take out... Like the nerves are dead... And so they just fill the inside sort
So basically what usually happens is that you have a cavity, and in that cavity bacteria gets into what's called the pulp of your teeth. And if it gets into the pulp, basically it infects everything, and it can't really defend itself because it's in this little enclosed case. So then it just all gets infected and all dies, basically.
Yeah.
That's not what happened with me. What happened with me is that I didn't actually have a cavity. That's why I was hoping I didn't need a root canal, because I didn't have a cavity at all.
Right.
What happened was that when I was younger, I got this really big filling. Like it's so big that it's like a third of my tooth basically is a filling. It's huge, and it compressed the nerve and like the pulp. And basically, if any bacteria or if it gets irritated or infected even a little bit, it's all dead, right? Because it has no chance, and that's what happened. So basically, it somehow, one way or another, bacteria found its way in there, not through a cavity, I don't know how, or it's either that or the filling itself just pinched the fucking pulp to death and just squeezed everything to death.
Gotcha.
It's one of the two, I don't know, but one way or another, it got in there. And he was like, yeah, so you're showing all the signs of an infected tooth and you need to have a root canal. And I was like, okay, great. He's like, yeah, so you've got two options. Either you get the root canal or you get your tooth removed. So,
give me a...
so I was like, I'll take the root canal.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I was shitting bricks because I was like, oh man, fuck, my entire life I've avoided this moment.
The worst part of the dentist is the drilling in your mouth, because you can feel it throughout your whole cheek.
Yeah.
Like, because I had never had a cavity before until earlier this year.
Didn't you crack your tooth?
When my tooth literally broke. And it didn't hurt. It was just terrifying. So it was like, you know when you lose a tooth when you're younger? This links to childhood. But you know when you lose a tooth when you're younger and you can like feel the hole like of the like
yeah.
And I was like, I hate it. And it was a huge filling, but that was the only one I had to get. But yeah.
So is that the only filling you have?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, I think more of my teeth have fillings than ones that don't.
But
actually.
Also, so when I was younger, last time I went to the dentist was like 10 years ago before this year.
Oh, shit.
So when I went in, I was expecting to be like full of cavities and have to get like a bunch of fillings and like get teeth pulled out. And I was shitting myself because the longer you wait, the worse it feels.
Yeah,
like,
I know, for sure.
And you're like, they're going to yell at me. And I went and they were like, oh yeah, when was the last time you went to the dentist? And I was like 10 years ago. And it was an orthodontist. It wasn't even like a proper dentist.
Oh,
I mean, obviously it's very similar. But And then they were like, oh, actually, you know what? Your teeth are in great health considering. I was like, well, thank you.
Well, that's good.
But now I like floss religiously. And
Yeah, I need to get back into the flossing game, dude. Because like I brush my teeth like 3 times a day now, especially after getting the root canal.
Yeah.
Well, the first part of the root canal, I have to go in again on Monday to have it finished.
Yeah.
But I used to floss all the time, and I just got lazy with it. But I also mouthwash all the time, so I'm like, I'm like, that covers it, but it doesn't. You really need to floss.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to get back on that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So basically, what they do for root canal is they drill like a little hole usually on the top of a tooth, and the first thing they do is they check to see whether or not the nerves, like, or the pulp or whatever inside the tooth is actually still like alive.
Like if it can be saved, essentially.
Or like, well, yeah, if it's still alive, maybe they can like come up with some kind of alternative. Maybe you just need some antibiotics and like a filling or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in this case, they're like, yeah, no, it's all dead. It's dead.
Period.
And yeah, so it was all gone. And he actually said that because earlier in the year, well, I say earlier in the year, I mean in 2020, I had gone to the dentist and I'd already had like a complaint there. So he thinks it's been dead for like 6 months probably.
Oh.
Yes, but like back then it was kind of 50-50 as to whether or not it was still alive. And now he's like, yeah, it probably just got inflamed, but it's been dead this whole time, most likely.
Terrifying.
So what they did was they had this little like electronic laser tray, like after they drilled in already, they're already into the core of the tooth. Then they had this little electronic, like, I don't know what the fuck it was. It made beeping sounds when you got close to like the nerve in the jaw or something.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So to
I
know when
what
to
you mean.
stop, kind of.
It's like it's almost like an infrared sort of light thing.
It's like an infrared thing, but it also had like a little metal scraping thing attached to it, so it could scrape stuff out. So it would know exactly when to stop. Right, and but like every time I heard a beeping getting loud, I was like, please don't touch my actual nerve because I'm gonna like scream.
Oh yeah.
Like because if it actually, because like obviously I had painkiller. I mean, I was on anesthesia. Obviously, I'm not like he said that I probably could have done it without anesthesia because it was all dead anyways. The tooth is dead.
Right, but
I'm not fucking around with that, dude.
No,
I'm not
that.
fucking. I'm not playing that game, dude. I'm getting anesthesia.
Yeah.
So basically, he scraped all of that out. He cleaned it. He flushed it with fluoride, I think, and water. And then he put this like antibacterial paste kind of shit in there.
Yeah.
And then he sealed it up with a temporary filling.
Okay.
That's basically what he did. And honestly, it was very painless.
Yeah, they're very good there, considering it's a student dentist.
Yeah, I mean, it really was really good. And like once I started doing it, I realized it wasn't hurting, and I just kind of chilled out a little bit because I was freaking the fuck out beforehand because it sounds so scary.
Yeah.
A root canal. And like you shouldn't ever have to get one because it does mean that your tooth is basically dead. So what they're going to have to do on Monday is they're going to basically fill it up with like cement kind of stuff like for your teeth. And then they're going to put obviously like a permanent
cap
filling.
On it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, just like a filling. Yeah.
He said that I probably don't need a crown.
Okay.
Luckily.
Nice.
So he said most likely I'm not going to need it. I just have to be it might be a bit more fragile, the tooth, but probably will be fine because most of the tooth is still fine. He said it's just the core.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I don't have to ever get a crown, but we'll have to see in the future.
Go to the dentist, everyone.
Go to the dentist.
Oh my God.
Go to the dentist.
It's so worth it. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised because not going to the dentist for 10 years, then I was like, oh my God, they're going to pull out all my teeth. And they're like, no, actually you're good. You just need one filling.
But like, especially if you have like a complaint, because like I was even then I was like, oh, maybe I can just wait a couple days and see if it gets better. But then you're like really putting yourself at risk because if that infection spreads, you know, then you're kind of fucked. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's always better to go. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that like the hard part is over. Now I just have to basically go in and they're just going to clean it again and put it in the cement. I'm just glad I don't have to get like, you know, nerves removed again.
Yeah.
Like fuck for that.
Yeah. That's definitely best case scenario.
Yeah. I think so far it is best case scenario. So
very good.
Yeah, and I was worried about whether or not I'd be able to drink, but then I looked it up, and it's apparently fine because I'm not on any medication at the moment. All I've got is just like a filling, which is covering the tooth. So like,
I mean, they would have told you not to if you couldn't. So
yeah, like I wasn't. And I asked, I was like, can I like just eat normally and stuff? Like, yeah, you're fine. Just I didn't ask if I could drink. I didn't ask them that. But I'm sure they would have mentioned.
You're a student. They're gonna assume that you're gonna drink anyway.
Like, yeah, I'll be fine. But I if I go on to antibiotics on Monday, then I probably will have to stop for a while, but I don't know how long that'll last, the antibiotics.
Yeah,
I don't know.
who knows?
We'll find out.
Yeah. Anyway, so my ghost update.
On to the ghost.
Half of this episode is going to be updates.
Yeah,
I assume.
it's the update episode.
It's the update episode as well as childhood episode. So my ghost update. So I told you I was hearing knocking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the other night I was hanging out with my roommate Dana, and someone who was a previous tenant who actually lived in my room before me came and visited, and we were chatting about the house and stuff, and I was like, and he was like, oh, have you been like hearing the ghost? And I was like, what is this like a common thing? And Dana has lived in the house for 6 years, so she lived there when this guy lived there. And so she was like, you never said there was a ghost. And he was like, yeah, I just didn't want to believe it, to be honest. But we both like compared our stories and what we heard and stuff, and they were like the same, like hearing running up and down the stairs and tapping. And then he was like, also I hear a dragging on the roof on one side, and I'm on the top floor, so literally above my room is the roof, and there's like this dragging sound, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe I've heard that. I can't think of an instance. And then that night I heard the dragging in the same place.
No fucking way. The ghost heard you.
Yeah.
The ghost's like, I'll show you, bitch.
And I was like, okay, so maybe I think it's haunting the house and not me.
That's good.
I mean, it's not ideal though.
But then it wasn't Elizabeth. Elizabeth never existed.
Well, no, she might have.
Well, no, because like, if this is the case, that means that ghost has been here way before you came.
Yeah.
Like way before you were there. But then it's not
so
Elizabeth,
then she's not the one that followed me from Edinburgh.
Unless you've got two different ghosts. That's possible.
That is also possible.
It's possible that you've got two following you. And this one happens to be already haunting the house and they're just chilling.
I think one follows me personally, but like comes and goes.
Yeah, and just like kind of vibes every now and then.
Yeah.
So like a bit of a checkup. Yeah. And then that one's just haunting that room specifically and doesn't really care who's in there. It's just kind of haunting. Just
like, hey, I'm here.
A bit of knocking here and there. You know?
Yeah, literally. So that is literally my ghost update. A lot shorter. Sorry, it's not as interesting either. But yeah.
Well, welcome back to Jen's weekly ghost update.
Honestly, I thought I would tell that story about the ghost once on Halloween and never talk about it again. But things just seem to happen, and I don't know if it's because I've been talking about it more that I'm noticing it more.
You're like manifesting it.
That, or I'm just noticing it more.
Or like before you would just think that it's like background noise and stuff like that. And turns out it's not. It's just a ghost.
It's just been there for a while, apparently.
Yeah, it's weird that like on the day that he mentioned like shit being dragged around on the roof, and
he mentioned the exact spot as well, and I was like, oh, I don't think I've actually heard that. Whatever, maybe it was just for him. And then I heard it and I was like, actually, you know what? I have heard that before. But it didn't click for me, I guess.
There was something else. Well, I mean, like, so is he convinced that it's a ghost or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So there's no way that, if there's sounds of like shit running up and down the stairs, if there's
dragging,
knocking, tapping. Yeah, well, sucks for you, bitch. This place is,
it's not scary.
So far nothing's happened, and he lived there just fine.
I die.
It's
I'm gonna knock on wood.
It's like next week. It's like this was a podcast memorial episode for you.
Dude, imagine all the clout we'll get. Well, you'll get.
Shit. Yeah, I'll get it. You'll be dead. I'll be like, yeah.
You have to carry it on.
My podcast host died.
You have to carry it on. Milk it for all it is.
I'm like a podcast. No, I don't think I could. I think I have to start a new one.
Bitch.
You know, I think so. What if you're
dead?
This
could be a ghost cast.
What? Yeah. I start doing. No. Like I keep going. Rebrand it to this could be a ghost cast, and then I bring like a Ouija board every time to the episode to like communicate with you. Like I'm telling a story, and I'm like, Jen, what do you think? And I'm like, and you're like.
It like doesn't make any sense. It's just me fucking with
cat.
You. Kitty. Ow.
Peppa. It's like, that's definitely Jen. She's definitely here.
Oh my god.
So Peppa.
But you mentioned that you were afraid of the dentist when you were younger. Did you have any other like irrational fears when you were younger?
Okay, well, the dentist was rational as far as I'm concerned. All right, I fucking hated going to the dentist. It's irrational.
They would lose their license if they.
It is irrational for sure. I just really didn't like it. It just frightened me. But The dentist was a big one. You know, strangely enough, I've developed more fears nowadays than I used to when I was younger. I used to be I had an irrational fear of crowds, I guess, when I was younger.
That's called anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. That's not like an irrational fear, I guess, but
technically it is irrational.
I guess so, but yeah, okay, I guess so. But that's, I mean, like in terms of other irrational fears, I mean, that's the big one. Like the one that I have nowadays is height.
Heights, do you mean?
Heights.
Not height. I'm afraid of tall people.
That'd be kind of painful existence.
Oh my
But
God.
no, like nowadays I'm afraid of heights and like high places and stuff like that. But strangely enough, not in like apartment buildings for some reason. But like, yeah, I don't like.
What do you mean, like on a balcony?
I'm fine there. Yeah, it's chill.
Oh.
But like if I'm on like I don't know, a ride or something, or like an elevator, I don't like elevators.
My hands are sweating thinking about it. Because I was thinking about when I went to the CN Tower in Toronto when I was younger, and they have this glass floor, and like all the kids and adults were like running on it and like jumping on it, and I was like, absolutely no way.
No, I'm not fucking.
Ever
with
since
that
I
kind
was
of
younger,
stuff,
I couldn't do it.
no, I wouldn't fuck with that, dude. No, that's some fucked up. Oh, I don't like it. Like I also don't mind planes. Weirdly enough,
hate planes.
I don't know why I don't mind it for some reason. It's just like these kind of unstable, like rickety kind of things. Like elevators, I feel like they're a really bad idea.
They don't make sense.
Like it feels like a really bad idea and a really easy way to die. And like these like old cathedrals and stuff that are really tall, and you're walking up this like rickety old like 1,000-year-old wood and stuff.
Oh,
and
I like those.
No, like fuck that. And you can look down
like
and you can see all like the different layers. Like, fuck that. I hate that shit. I did it once in Cologne. I hated it.
I remember when I was younger, I went to a museum, and I think it was in Canada, and it was because there's like the railway that was built, and there were houses stationed nearby for the workers. So we went in, they were like, this is exactly what the house was like. It's all original. And I'm like, this is the original wallpaper. And they're like, well, no, we replaced that. I'm like,
so it's not original then, Con.
Well, exactly. And I was like, well, is the floor original? No, we replaced that. I'm like, is this the same structure? And they're like, yeah, no, actually we saw pictures and we built it. So I'm like, that's not an original building.
So it's a recreation.
It's a recreation, but I feel bad for him because I bet it was just like this like 22-year-old lad that
just like a volunteer or whatever, or like part-time job kind of guy. Yeah,
and I was like, because I love museums, I always have done when I was younger, especially the ones where you can like walk around and it's like Victorian era and it's kind of creepy and it's fun. It actually seems like an accessible time that you can think of and contextualize.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it really annoyed me, and I was like having a proper go at this lad.
This poor
being
fella.
like, so were the wallpapers even this color? No, it was like a tan color, but we decided to go for a white because over time it probably yellowed, so we don't know for sure, so we went for white. And I'm like, what?
So you don't even fucking know for sure. You're just guessing. You're just fucking guessing.
That's like me building a house and going, well, someone probably had something like this back in the day.
Probably looked kind of like this.
Probably 4 walls and a base, like that's a house. Like, of course.
Is that one of your childhood irrational fears? Inaccurate museums?
Imagine. I like scream on the way in. No, I'm terrified of snakes and spiders. This is now turning into a fear episode.
Didn't we do a fear episode?
No.
We did. No, we didn't. Oh, I guess it's kind of transitioning. We'll move on to the actual stuff. So you don't like snakes and spiders? I bet you would have hated the game Snakes and Ladders then. I
don't think I fancied that game because the game was a bit dull.
Yeah.
And it annoys me that it's not based on skill, it's just based on luck.
Yeah, like if you fall on a ladder, it's like good times, and you fall on a snake, you're fucked. It's kind of stupid.
And then everyone playing's like, oh my god, they fell down the snake. I'm like, yeah, it's not my fault though, is it? It's not because I'm bad at this game. Like, they're like, oh, but you rolled it wrong. I'm like, how do you roll a dice wrong? Please tell me. I'm getting heated
about museums and snakes and ladders.
This is now Jen is angry.
But what was your favorite childhood board game? Because it
Ooh.
obviously was not Snakes and Ladders.
There was one called Mousetrap. Did you ever play
Mousetrap?
it?
No.
So basically, you set up a bunch of traps, and you have your character on the board, and you roll a dice, and you go around and you try to avoid, because you're a mouse, and so you have to avoid the traps and avoid getting caught. But the thing is, the setup of that game would be like an hour. And so me and Beth, like, we were kind of too young to be playing it, really. We couldn't really figure out how to set it up. So we'd get our dad to set it up for us.
And he would
then,
just be sitting there, the poor bastard. Poor Nigel would be just
Poor
sitting there
Nigel.
for a fucking hour.
and then literally, I remember once he spent probably like an hour getting it set up, and he was getting really frustrated because it's like this kid's game, and he was like, it's not staying in place. And me and Beth were like, yeah, but it's going to be so exciting when we play. And then literally, I think after the first round, the mousetrap like fell, and he was like, yeah, stupid fucking game. And we played it maybe 3 times, but it was like one of my favorite games.
But just because it was so cool when it worked.
Yeah.
Like as intended. Yeah.
Because it was like, it was all set up, and then if you triggered one thing, it would trigger something else on the board. It was quite intricate, like for a kids game.
It sounds really difficult to set up, though.
Yeah.
I can imagine why your dad did not enjoy this.
I think he thought it would take like 5 minutes max, and then it ended up taking like an hour. And he was just getting so frustrated, but because it was a Christmas present, so we couldn't just be like,
oh yeah, so you couldn't just not use it.
Exactly.
It's not like that. Like, you know how like every family has that like old ass rickety set, like game set from like the 60s or whatever, and like every now and then you'll bust it out to like play like a game or two, and then it's like, oh, this was fun, and you never use it again for like 5 years, and you bust it out again. It's like one of those like kind of things.
Yeah, we have that with we used to play Cluedo a lot as a family when we were younger.
I loved Cluedo, but I never had anyone to play it with, because my family like we played more like strategy games than like that kind of stuff.
Smart enough.
like we played like Risk, Small World, Settlers of Catan and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of stuff we played. We didn't really play.
No, we literally saw those games as like games for smart people. Because because my family was full of different age ranges. Because obviously you have me, and then my older sister was 12 years older than I am. So it had to cater so that I could play when I was 6 years old, but also that my older siblings wouldn't lose interest in it.
Yeah.
So it was like Monopoly, Cluedo, like games like that.
We did play Monopoly. I feel like Monopoly is like the most OG game of them all.
I controversial opinion, but when people are like, oh, Monopoly ruins your family, I don't get it.
No, me neither. I don't know why people... Okay, well...
How are you getting so serious over Monopoly?
So the last time I played Monopoly, was it the last time? Or like second last time, I think, actually. I played with my mom here. But the thing is that she got really angry. But the reason... I think it might have been the last time. But the thing is, we didn't play normal Monopoly. We played this, like... I don't know if it's like a Dutch thing, or if it's like just like Dutch branding, and they have like an English version. But it's like Monopoly, like cheating edition. So basically, you can like try to do these kind of like cheat moves, like steal someone's money and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like that.
But if you get caught, and then the other person can say in English, just like cheater,
right? Yeah.
And then it's like, and if you get busted with it, then
thief.
Yeah, basically. And then you have to like make a case that either it was you or it wasn't you, and if you're found guilty, then you suffered some kind of penalty.
I feel like that would start fights.
Yeah, my mom didn't like it. I thought it was fun. But my mom wasn't into it.
No, I'd lose my mind over that, because then that's just unfair.
And the thing is, I hate cheating in games, but that was kind of the point of the game. So it's kind of like dumb if you don't.
It's like the game is set up to cheat.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, it was alright. But like, I love OG Monopoly. Like, I was always really bad, and no one like the thing is, I would try to make these deals that are so bad, and nobody was interested. Like, I would offer like $100 for like a place, and I'm like, hey, but that's $100 you could have right now, versus like 500 you could make in the game.
Yeah,
and they're like,
it's like you land on me once and I get 300, like, and you're offering me 50. Like, it's like,
I would make these 50. Fucking deals, and then I'd throw in like, I'd be like, okay, how about I give you 100 and I give you like this like card, and it's like the worst like location in the game, and you can only make like $20.
It's like the browns.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
very
It's like the brown ones, yeah. And then just be like, no.
Yeah,
Like,
I was the
"Come on, dog."
same. But also because I was the youngest sibling, I was cheated a lot by my siblings, and I didn't know who to trust.
Basically doodled you.
Because Beth especially, because she's like, you know, she's the next oldest. Like, she's not my age. She's like the next youngest.
She's like the level up.
She's the next level.
she's like the higher level.
So she was like, aha, youngest sibling, the only one I can bamboozle and not get beat up because it's Jen. And she'd be like, Jen, this is a really good deal. Like, really, I should be like offering more for it, but I mean, you know, I'm doing it because you're my sister.
Corey fucked her over in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just go down.
Yeah. And then my dad would like, I remember like, a couple of times he would like fuck us over, but ultimately he would be like, Jen, that's a bad deal. Don't take that deal.
Like don't fucking do it.
And I'm like, but I want the train stations. Like, that's all I wanted when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
because here's the thing, because if you watch the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader episode, you know I'm horrible at maths. So when it came to like building hotels and building houses, my brain couldn't figure out the maths. So I would just be like, I'll just get the stations.
Oh, fuck it, mate. I'll just get all the stations.
I'll get the stations and utilities, and then I don't have to worry about houses.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you can only make so much off of that when people start building hotels.
That is fairly limited, yeah. Because once hotels start to come into the game, then it's kind of fucked, yeah, because it makes so much money.
But then usually by that point, I'm bored of playing anyway, so I'm happy to leave the table.
Yeah. My biggest issue with these like dice games is that it is still all luck though, because it's also entirely it's not all luck, but it's like let's be real, it's like 60% luck.
Yeah.
Because if you fall on the right tile and you buy like the best tile in the game, and you happen to fall on the others in that same pattern, then I mean, you just kind of win. Yeah. You know.
Also the chance cards and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
precisely.
When
it's like I don't know.
There's housing tax, and you're like, I have
like the fun thing about it is that you can, you know, like play games with like friends and stuff like that, and whatever, or with family and stuff. But I don't know.
But the thing is with Monopoly as well, it's such an old game that different families play different rules. So then when you play with friends, you like have to go over the rules with everyone. Like when
you got to come to like
an agreement, and then if you're too late on making that agreement, people are like, well, that wasn't the rule earlier, and it's like, because we didn't mention it earlier. You know.
That would happen with so many things when you were a kid though, like not even just like board games, but like just like in other games as well, like in like tag or whatever, or like I remember like way back in the day, you remember like the old hide and seek where you would have like a jail, and then if someone got to the jail, then they would like release everyone, and then all of your friends would be standing there, and then you would try to run for it, or you'd get caught sometimes. Oh fuck.
I used to play Kiss Chase on the playground.
What is Kiss Chase? Oh, ew.
Now that I think about it,
Cootie.
It's a very weird game. But so I was probably like, God, 5 maybe, 5 or 6. And I had like a pretty big group of friends. And at this point, girls and boys mixed because, you know, you're so young. And the game called Kiss Chase is basically tag. But when you get someone, you have to kiss them.
Really?
And
is
so,
that a game?
I think it's English.
Whose idea was this?
I think it's quite English because I know like a lot of my English friends played it when they were younger. But so there was a guy, I'm not going to say his name. There was a guy that I fancy. I don't know. He's like still follows me on Facebook and Instagram. So
you can't say.
No. But I remember we were like playing Kiss Chase, and I wanted him to catch me. So I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to go slowly.
Run.
But then, so like having older brothers, they were always like, don't kiss anyone until you're 30. Don't date anyone until you're 30. No. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm only 6 years old. I have to wait so long. I can't do the maths yet, but I got to wait so long for that. And
I don't know how long, but it's a while.
I was like, I know I'm not ready yet. And then so he tagged me, and then he was like, oh, I have to kiss you. And then it like popped in my brain. I was like, oh, I'm too young for this. My brothers are going to find out. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to kiss on the lips. And then he was like, oh, well, can I kiss you on the cheek? And I was like, that's too close to my lips. So no. And then he kissed me on the hand. And that's the only thing I would accept.
So fucking lame.
I know. And I cringe thinking about it. But like, I was a weird kid with my friends. Like, there was one point where we like...
Is it that bad?
It's not that bad. It's like kids stuff. But now I'm like, I hope it's kids stuff. Because I was friends with like a girl and a boy. And obviously none of us fancied each other because we were literally like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And one of us, I think the girl that we were friends with was like, Jen, a day to lick my eyeball.
That does sound like kid stuff.
And I was like,
all right, I'll give it a go.
What? And she's like, it tastes salty. I did it with my older sister. It tastes salty. And I was like, how can your eyeballs taste salty? And then I remember it tasted salty.
Ew,
and we all
dude.
like licked each other's eyeballs.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? This is like an English thing. What the fuck?
I don't think it's an English thing.
Let's all lick each other's eyeballs.
I don't think that's even an English thing. I think that's a Jen's weird thing.
Oh, man. I remember when I was younger, I used to have this thing where I would collect baby dolls. Like by young, I mean like I was also like 8 or something like that. My mom was like,
what do you mean baby dolls?
Like, you know, those like dolls, but
like
they're like
actual
babies. Yeah, they're like baby-sized dolls.
That's sweet.
But like I would collect them because I was like, I'm training to be like a daddy, so I would collect them. But like I had this whole basket full of these fucking babies.
What did you do? Did you actually like play like daddy?
No, I didn't. I just had the babies. I barely ever played with them. I just had them, and then
oh my God.
But I loved getting new ones, and like I liked the ones which you could like actually like pour milk into and stuff like that. Like the real ones. I was like, oh, it's so cool.
You know the ones that when you laid them down, they had like movable eyes, so they were closed, like they were weighted, and then when you lift them up, their eyes opened.
Yeah. But anyways, I had a whole basket of those, right? And then one day,
did you have like a crib and stuff to go with it?
No,
like
I didn't go that far. I just had the babies.
Oh, I did.
I had the babies, and I mean, when I say babies, I mean I had like at least 15 of them.
What?
It was a whole basket full. I'm serious.
So weird.
My mom just kept getting them for me because she was like, well, it's better when he gets these than like super violent toys because at least it's like, you know, paternal.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
it's quite nice actually.
I had all of these. I mean, I got the violent toys later on, anyways. But I went through a nice period of baby dolls. Actually, I think I was younger than 8. I think I was like 7.
You were probably younger.
I think I was like 6, 7 when I think about it, because I think 8. Like 7 to 8 was when I started getting into like boy toy, like boy action figures and stuff like that. Anyway, so I one day I had like a birthday party at my house. And then someone discovered my basket of babies.
Oh no.
And I ran out of my room, out of my house, into the neighbor's backyard, and I hid underneath like a trash can or something like that. I ran, dude. I got the fuck out of there.
Oh my God.
And I remember like one of my friends at the time followed me, and he's like, why are you running? I'm like, I can't tell you why we're running. We just have to run.
Oh, that's sweet. So
I was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
But like I recognized, actually, funny enough, at that stage that it was like an embarrassing thing, which is funny. So I was old enough to know it's weird.
I mean, to be honest, even a little girl having 15 babies.
That was so fucking many.
It's like a lot.
Dude, like imagine if you were to find that
one.
now. Like imagine if you were to walk around my house someday and find that now and like a basket full of babies.
Oh my God.
You'd think I'm a fucking psychopath or something. Like I'm collecting babies or something.
I remember when, I don't know who it was. It was like some family member of mine, like maybe a grandma or something like that, got me like one of those, you know, those creepy like porcelain dolls that like dress in like I didn't like them either, but I had it, and I remember it was wearing like a green like plaid dress, and it like sat in the corner of my room, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But I was obsessed with Barbies. Like I had a massive tub full like
Yeah.
bottomless, that I got from like relatives and stuff, you know, other girls who like grown up, because I was the youngest girl in my family. So I got like all the hand-me-downs. And I mentioned that I like cutting hair. Boy, did I used to like cut their hair, and I used to like I used to like scrub their head on a bar of soap to wash it.
Oh my god.
Like it was like a salon, but I didn't know like how to do it. So I was like, well, this is quite convenient to just scrub it onto a bar of soap. And I filled the sink with water, and I would be in there for like hours just like washing all of my Barbie's hair. I had hundreds.
That's crazy.
Like it's a lot to get through. And then like the hair would, because I'd rubbed it obviously against a bar of soap, it was very frizzy and gross. But I remember one time my mum...
Sounds kind of disgusting.
My mum got... Oh, it was absolutely disgusting. My mum got a haircut and she had layers in her hair. My mum's hair's very thick. My hair's quite thin. So she got them done and I was like, I want layers. And she was like, you can't, you're too young. I was like 4 or 5. Yeah, of course I was too young. Like no kid has like an elaborate hairstyle at that age. Also, I had like no hair. And I was like, I'm just going to do it myself. And so I practiced on my Barbies. I think I practiced on like 8 different Barbies. One Barbie actually turned out okay.
Oh.
And then I was like,
I'm good to
hell
go.
yeah, I'm going to do it on myself
I'm
now.
a professional now.
I was like, I'm ready. I did it myself. It didn't work. And I went out to my mum. I was like, I did it.
A pose.
Am I pretty now?
The A pose.
It was, honestly, it was so bad. And like, and I cut my hair a lot throughout the years, like, because, you know, it's trial and error. And I'm pretty good at it now. But when I was younger, I had some like, I like just did straight across cut. And I was like, that's a fringe. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's my basic understanding of a fringe, is just cutting hair straight and hoping for the best. I had many times my mum was like, stop cutting your hair. I was like, but I want to do it. I want to be
I want to do it, though.
Yeah. And now I still cut my own hair. No one can stop me. There are some times where it's come out jacked because I get overconfident and then I'm like,
hope not.
Only on my own hair. I don't go overboard on others' hair.
I fucking hope not.
I'm cutting Peter's hair after this episode.
Yeah, because I can't believe that they did this, that the Netherlands decided, oh, we'll just close all the barbershops and hair salons.
I mean, it makes sense. You're very close to someone's face.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a necessity, though. Like,
it's not a necessity.
oh, come on, dog. What, like hygiene? I mean, I guess
it's not hygiene. It's just cutting hair.
Yeah, but dude, now I've got this fucking rat tail mullet kind of thing developing over here.
I'm gonna cut you a sick ass mullet.
Oh no, oh no.
I actually could though.
No,
but,
please, God, no, have mercy.
But I was honestly into Barbies for an alarming amount of time. I think until, because usually girls probably grow out of Barbies at age like 7, 8. I was like 10 and I was still like actively like, fuck yeah, I love Barbies.
I think when I was 8 or so was when I really started transitioning to like Bionicles. You know what Bionicles are?
Well, they're just like male like action
like,
figures, aren't they?
No, Bionicles were like, they were like, oh man. I really hope that some people listening like remember Bionicles.
I know what you mean, but I
cool.
can't.
They were like these.
remember.
They were kind of like Lego kind of action figures, but you would build them basically like these like.
Like with Bionics.
There'll be There'll be a picture on the screen right now if you're watching on Instagram. Bionicles.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, but like it's like you would build these kind of. I'll show you after the show. After these.
After the show.
Right after recording, but there's like these. Like they would have these little like ball and socket kind of things, and you would like connect it together and like build this stuff on top of it. I loved those. And then I transitioned to like action figures, just like normal ones, like wrestling figures and like all that kind of stuff. And then I found my true passion, which was Lego. I fucking loved Lego, dude. I was obsessed with it. Especially Lego Star Wars. Oh man.
Oh yeah, those are cool though.
It's fucking cool, dude. I would still buy it today. I like. It's just so fucking expensive. I can't justify
Legos are timeless though, aren't they? Because it's just constructing.
Yeah, but it's like I see it sometimes. I'm like, man, I can't justify fucking buying a Lego. You know. Like,
I think they're quite expensive now.
It's fucking expensive. It was always expensive, but.
Oh right, yeah.
But back then, my mom was paying for it, not me. So now.
Yeah.
Now it's like, fuck. Can my bank account really handle like a €100 Lego? Probably not.
Yes.
Probably not. I fucking loved Lego. And then video games. And then video games,
Yeah.
and then that's what stuck.
Yeah. So I've also mentioned before that I was really obsessed with The Sims, and from like a very young age, from probably The Sims, like the original one, because
number one. I never played number one.
I think my older brother had it, and so I was like, hell yeah. But I remember at one point I literally asked him, "What's Woohoo?" Because for those of you who don't, or maybe have never played The Sims, Woohoo is sex. It's like, oh, woohoo with another sim, and it's sex. But obviously being a child, I had no idea what that meant. So I was like, what does woohoo mean, to my brother, who is probably 8 years older than me? And he was like, don't worry about it, it's just cuddling. And I was like, oh, fun.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And but then the animation is them like under the duvet, and they're like, you know, like lumps come up, and beds come out, and I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I just did not get it, and I didn't get it for so long because I was like, oh, they're just
eventually
cuddling.
it clicked, and you're like,
It clicked probably, honestly, when I was about 14, like way too old, where I was like, wait a minute, oh my god, they're doing the dirty.
They're doing the stanky, dude.
But also, we've recently been playing RuneScape, which we used to play all the time. Well, I used to play all the time as kids.
I used to play it so much when I was a kid.
But you had a way better understanding of the game than I did. Because my main thing with playing RuneScape was to walk around and like talk to people and do quests. But I never even finished the quests. I think I started it and then I was like, oh, I don't know where that is on the map, so I can't be bothered.
Yeah. My main thing when I was younger was trying to just level up. Well, like at first it was just like kind of about that. At first, when I first started playing, it was also kind of similar, more about like talking to people and like getting like all kinds of RuneScape friends and girlfriends and stuff, and having all kinds of drama with my real friends about like RuneScape like relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing for a while, and I lost my first ever RuneScape account. I remember the name, but it's lost it's lost to the ages. I'll never get it back, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they like updated the database or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been deleted, or I just forgot the password, or any files and like event could have happened which got it deleted, or it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Then I got my second one, but I wasn't really a kid anymore when I started, and like it was that second time that I got into RuneScape when I was about 16, 15.
Right.
Then I got really into it again, and that's when I started really focusing on like leveling up and like finding efficient ways to level up and make money.
Yeah.
And then a while after that, my account got banned. Unfortunately.
Were you hacking?
I wasn't. It wasn't my idea, but my ex at the time thought it would be a good idea. If she's watching this, I have not forgiven you. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm just joking. But anyways, I couldn't access that account anymore. So then I made this new one, which we started RuneScape accounts again. And,
yeah. And I've a way, like, it's insane how little you understand as a kid. Like, I was just like, this is fun. I click and I go places and I talk, and I had no idea of like how to use any of it. But now, after playing a few games, I'm realizing there's a mini map that you can make bigger and like go places and trade, and and I just had like, that wasn't, I'd played Club Penguin previously.
Oh my god.
Literally, you just click and you play little games and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Club Penguin, I did cheat. Yeah. Club Penguin, I cheated the fuck out of
you
Club
did?
Penguin. I did, dude. I really did. Like, I can't believe it actually worked. And I still, dude, I'm not even kidding, I had like 1 million coins in my account because I cheated it all in.
You know what I did?
But I paid off my sins, so.
Did you?
Yeah, because like there was this event where you could donate to charity with your coins.
Oh,
and I spent like half of it on donating to charity. So in my mind, I feel like I actually redeemed myself for
I think you did.
Cheating.
Yeah.
And anyways, Club Penguin is gone now anyways, but sadly, rest in peace.
But so what I did, because I was, 7 maybe, and on Club Penguin I was like, I really want a membership, because when you have a membership you get like all these cool clothes, you get wigs, and I was like, I want to be so cool. You get access to like
some of the more advanced mini games as well.
Exactly. And I was like, I have to have this. I remember I asked my dad for it, and he was like, no, it's a waste of
No.
money. And I was like, yeah, you know what, fair. And then I was Googling ways to get coins. It was like, oh, you want coins? Put in your phone number. And I was like, that's all I have to do? Sick. And so I put in the phone number. Didn't realize that obviously it charged to that, like the phone number
did
to
it?
like, because it's like using, you know how phones like used to have like credits, like text
Yeah,
credits
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So it would use that sort of money to do it. And then it would come out in the bill later, in the phone bill.
Oh my
So
god.
my dad
So your
was
dad
like,
was
my
like,
dad was like, Jennifer, have you been using my phone number for Club Penguin? And I was like, no. He was like, well, you're the only one who plays, so I think it might be you. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And honestly, I didn't realize. I genuinely thought it was just you put your phone number in. It was like, hey, we like that. Here's some coins.
so were you buying coins or something?
I was buying coins.
Oh my god.
I didn't realize it. And I like bought membership and stuff. I'm pretty sure I bought like a year's membership, which I think at
Oh
the
my
time was
God.
like £40.
Yeah, it would have been
something.
like
Something like
30,
that.
40 pounds.
Something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I think it's more. It's probably it's not even
I think it would-
around now, but
yeah, no. Rest
in
peace,
its
Club
last few
Penguin.
years, it was significantly cheaper. I remember
Yeah,
because just before they shut down, I was like, oh, for old time's sake, I'll
Yeah,
just
you
buy a
too. You
month.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
was like,
Just for old time's
Just
sake.
a month, because it was
Yeah.
like €2 or something. I was like, yeah, whatever. That's the thing that I love about being older is like I can like buy stuff now. Like
Yeah.
things that are stupid that my parents never let me do when I
you're
was
just
older.
Like, fuck it, I'll just get it for myself.
like,
You know, yeah,
whatever.
fuck it, yeah.
Like I remember on iTunes back when you actually bought songs.
Oh my god, that was
And-
that was a dark time. Do you remember fucking going to YouTube and like
Yeah.
putting, like trying to put
And
together
having
playlists?
to download music as well, W3, and then
dude.
uploading it onto your iPod.
Oh
Man, but I remember there was one song I got. I cannot remember what it is. It was probably like a Britney Spears "Toxic" or whatever, and it was 99 pence because I was in England at the time. And my dad like also was like, Jennifer, stop it. My card is linked to this. And I was like, I don't understand. Like I didn't understand the concept of linking a card to an iPod at the time. Like it just wasn't in my
Yeah, it wasn't
in my scope
you
of
didn't
understanding.
comprehend it. Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I was gonna call him my cousin, but like technically we're not related, but like his family is so close to mine that we're essentially family.
Yeah.
You know, like basically.
Like when you have
family.
like non-biological aunties and stuff.
Yeah, like basically, you know, like we used to all live together and stuff like that. Like I mean, we're basically family.
Yeah.
But one of my I want to call him my friend, but it's like he's my
Close family friend.
Yeah, like very close family friend. His older brother. I remember one time I was like, "Yo, could you like put some music on my iPod?" I was really young. I was like 10 or something like that. And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he put all of this like My Chemical Romance and like Green Day and Muse and stuff. But I wasn't into that stuff yet, you know. So like I was like, oh man, all of my old songs are gone. Where's my Michael Jackson and my ABBA?
You were listening to Michael Jackson and ABBA at that point.
Yeah, dude, because of my mom.
Right.
My mom made my first music impressions, which was like James Blunt, which I'm still a fan of.
Yeah, we
and
spoke
ABBA
about
and
that,
like
I think.
Michael, yeah, I think so, and Michael
Briefly.
Jackson and stuff. Ironically, though, now all of those songs which I didn't appreciate, I love that music. So I love Muse and Green Day and My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco and stuff. Oh no, wait, I don't think he added Panic. I can't remember, but
I was
it's
more
so
into
funny.
Panic.
And like I wonder if that like shaped part of my music taste, that like just him putting it on my iPod even though I didn't like it at the time.
I guess because then it's linked to nostalgia for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because there
yeah.
are some films that, I mean, I can't think of any now, but I was literally thinking about the other day when we decided to talk about this topic, how there are like films that I like to watch now purely for nostalgic reasons. And they're not good films. They're just like films that I relate to, like experiences and stuff.
That you associate with your past.
Experiences.
with the past.
The past. But yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how nostalgia works. It's like the brain is really good at like isolating these weird little things. Like isn't it so weird how many 1,000 times you've probably hung out with your friends, but you can only remember like a couple of those times. But I bet that you can remember some of them really clearly. Like I can remember really clearly this one time, me and my friends and I, my mom would always correct me, like we discovered this like I to this day I don't know if it was mud or if it was sewage, but we built a bridge across it in like this little alleyway back in the UAE. Like,
oh my god.
We like, because we had this like little like desert area, like this like little like 50 meter by 50 meter desert area in our neighborhood we would go walk to. It was close to my house.
Yeah.
And there was like a tree there, and we would build like castles and stuff and play there in the sand
days.
And stuff. And like we would always play in sand because obviously it's the UAE. And I don't know, we just found, I again, to this day, I don't know if it was mud, sewage, I don't know what the fuck it was, but we built a bridge across it with like planks and like wood and like stuff we found from nearby.
Awesome. Yeah.
And like,
we did that too.
And it was like traversing, like, you know, it was like a whole adventure. We would always call it like adventures and stuff when we went to go do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember that so clearly, but I bet there's all these like other thousands of times that we've done stuff and I just can't remember anymore.
What was so nice when we were living in Huddersfield, which is up north in England, me and my brother in England, we behind my house we had this massive like forest and a stream and stuff, and it was really cool, and you could easily just explore down there for like 5 hours because it was huge. And Corey, Beth and I would go down and like explore and stuff, and you'd feel a bit cool. And we had 2 dogs at the time, so we take them, and there was a stream at the bottom. We've had so many fun times. Like I only lived in Huddersfield for 2 years, like when I was older, and those are like probably the best years of my life because I was like ages 7 to 10, and like those were the days. Because I also remember one day my mum had yelled at me about something. I don't even know what. It was probably stupid, but and I was upset in my room, and then Corey and Beth like came down, and obviously they're my older siblings and they love me because I'm such a great sister, and they were like, Jen, come on, we've organized something for you, like come outside, like it'll cheer you up. And I was like, no, I'm really upset, Mum.
I don't want to.
And they were like, no, come on. And they'd like set up a chair in the garden, and then they'd set up this like clown skit thing.
Oh my god.
And
what
like
the
we
fuck?
had a
Oh, that's sweet,
trampoline,
bro.
and they were like, and my brother, they were like doing things to like accidentally hurt themselves because it made me laugh. And it was so funny. And also we had this shed that had come with a previous house that we'd like moved with us because it was so cool, and it was like a mini house, and we all used to like hang out in there, and I'd collect slugs in a cardboard box and ladybirds and stuff. And I was just like, damn, those are the days where you're conscious enough to remember those years, and you're still so like childish, or you're so creative, and damn, it makes me really sad.
I do sometimes miss that like kind of childish like energy and like optimism, and like
I
don't know, now I'm just a bitter old fuck.
But you know what, I find like when we hang out especially, I feel like sometimes we revert to being children. Yeah, for sure. Which I love.
We just kind of go back to being idiots.
We're both just so fucking weird. So the other night, we were like, how would this animal walk?
Oh my god. Okay. It doesn't help that like substances might have been consumed.
I mean, alcohol. But like we would do that sober anyway.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, how does a llama walk? And then we were like walking across the room, mimicking that animal. And then we were also reading each other's mind, just like super basic games.
But that was okay. Like, although I have to say that mind thing was fucking weird, though, because it was really accurate. Yeah. Like, we kept getting it right. It was so creepy.
So me and my family, because when you have a lot of kids and we would all be bored, my mum would make up these games and was like, all right, so this is a category game. We come up with a category, and then you go through the alphabet listing things for each letter.
Sounds like a good way to just waste time.
And we've played that, and that's quite fun. And just like random games like that, which you take from like your childhood, and then you play them nowadays, and you're like, good old days. I still love playing I Spy, but people are like, I don't want to play I Spy. That's stupid. I'm like, I Spy's a fun game. Don't even get me started.
It is fun, especially if you're like in like a long road trip or something.
Yeah.
You're just sitting in the car and you're like, oh,
yeah.
I spy something red. The car. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, when it's something stupid.
Yeah, it's like something fucking, or like the sky, and you're just like, oh yeah. Okay.
Did you ever make potions as a kid?
Tons, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to like, the thing is, I had a very like wild imagination.
Me too.
Like super wild imagination. I would like believe in like dragons and like stuff like that and magic and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I remember one time I brought a friend of mine onto the roof of my house and we were trying to make a potion. I don't know why we were on the roof. Yeah, yeet. but we got all the way up to the roof somehow. We made this like potion out of like, I think like Coke and leaves and like dirt and like rocks and stuff. And it's like, this is like a magic potion.
My parents had planted roses in the garden.
Oh, no.
And me and Beth like
What did you
took
do?
all the petals and shoved them into like
They
an
must have
old
killed you.
glass. And they actually did. I don't think they honestly really cared, to be honest. Or maybe they did and I didn't remember. But then we'd like take it down to the stream and like fill it up with water and then like mush it and then smell it and be like, oh, it's perfume. And like we'd be like, we can sell this. And we genuinely thought we could sell it, but no.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Also,
I love it, like all those ideas that you would have, like stuff like that, like, oh, we can sell this or make like a business out of
where
this,
like
you know?
the world was open and endless. But so when I was living in Huddersfield isn't the safest place in the world. And so my parents were like, because we lived in the south beforehand for 7 years. The south is a lot safer than up north.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was younger, me and Beth and Corey used to like run around the streets and like, you know, go to other friends' houses and stuff just on our own, whatever, in the same neighborhood. But then we moved to Huddersfield. They were like, you can't play out front. Like, because at this time there was like stabbings happening in the north all the time people breaking in. So then my parents were like, okay, yeah, sorry, you can't play out front.
Yeah.
And so then, I mean, the garden was awesome because we had that huge stream. But when it was like really cold and it was winter and it's gross and you don't want to play outside, my parents had converted the downstairs with like these not marble floors, but like, you know, this sort of the same sort of thing
like
where it's like
tiles.
Yeah. And we had Heelys and scooters, and since my mum wouldn't let us play outside,
You would just do it in there?
we would just do
my
it
God.
downstairs. And because my parents' domain was like on the main floor of the
domain.
house. Well, when you have so many fucking kids, there's like a kid's room and then like the parents'
But like
room.
kids' floor, the parents'
adults'
floor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we would be like on our Heelys, just like going downstairs. And I can't believe there's a whole generation, like probably 5 years younger than us, who never had Heelys.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you have Heelys?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They
and
were
fucking
awesome.
and like scooters, like the
Razor scooters.
Yeah, like the Razor. And you'd always hit it against your shin, and it would be the worst.
I still have
pin.
a scar on my ankle.
I can't see it, but
No, I mean,
I don't think they can see it either.
but
No, but I like. We used to always like cycle everywhere. I mean, like there's plenty of places that still cycle and stuff, but I remember we used to be obsessed with like rollerblading as well, like roller skates.
Yeah.
Like we used to be absolutely obsessed with that, and we would do it all the time.
The thing is now, so like the kids now. I
Oh,
sound
the
so
kids
old.
nowadays can't.
But literally, you see like the parents just shove an iPad in front of them. Like they're not like I remember when I would say to my mum like, "Mum, I'm bored." They'd be like, "Go outside and play." But now it's like, "Oh, here's an iPad." I'm like, what a shitty existence. Like their attention spans must be tiny. Like when they get older, they're all gonna have ADHD.
But like even myself, I'm noticing that my attention span is like constantly requiring more stimulus or like more like stimulation.
Yeah.
Like if even if I'm just doing something like waiting for food in the oven or something, I have to be doing something. I can't just sit there and like chill, you know. Like I have to. I need some like I'm like always searching for something or if I'm like in a lecture and I'm kind of bored, I'm like, oh, just like, you know, play a game on my phone. I
find it really hard. I can concentrate for about an hour, not fully. I can concentrate fully for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But then an hour I can pay attention, but after an hour, you've lost me, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
And lectures are 2 hours.
Oh,
So the second hour is just
mine this week have been like 8 hours, and it's crazy. Like they just keep going, and like the way they like try to keep you engaged is by occasionally doing these like in-class assignments, but it's like I just zone out or fall asleep, and I wake up and it's time for an assignment, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't remember what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like I don't know.
I mean, that's also partly because it's online.
Yeah. Okay, being online really impacts it. I mean, like, yeah, of course. I think if I was in class, it wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, online, it's really bad. But
I miss school as a kid, man. Like
I don't.
I
just hate school in general. I'm ready to be done with it, to be honest.
But like, I mean, probably from age 10 onwards, that sucked. But 10 and below, oh man, school's fun. I remember loving going to school.
Really?
Yeah, because we used to play games. We used to have movie days all the time. Like everything. I think I went to like a stupid school. But
I think you went to a good school if you were like, I mean, like even if it's not doing like the most engaging stuff, if you're being passionate about it, like at least encourages you to go. Like I fucking hated going to school.
I mean, yeah, but also my mum used to work at the same school as me, which I think I've mentioned before. And so usually after school she'd have to stay and like clear things up, and you know, like it would take like an extra hour after school finished. And so one of my other friends in my year's mum also worked at the school, so then we'd hang out together after school, and my mum would be like, okay, here's like the whiteboard, and the whiteboard at this point was brand new. Brand new. And it was like, and you had all these games and stuff, and I remember those like
you mean like those like interactive ones?
Yeah, like a smart board.
Yeah,
a smart board. And so we were like, oh my god, this, like, I remember it got installed that year and I was probably 7. So this was like 2005, 2006 when they were first installed, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And then we would play all these games, and there was like a room for troubled kids, but also for kids after school to go to. Like if they were like kids who like couldn't concentrate in class and they were just causing disruption, it's like you're not going to focus, you're disrupting everyone else, just like come to this room and chill out for a bit. So but then after school we would go here too, so there were books and like little toys, and me and my mate, his name was Leon, he probably isn't even, I haven't spoken to him since I was probably 7. But so we'd like hang out in there, and yeah, it was awesome. I loved it so much. I loved my mum working at the same school as me, and everyone was like, isn't that weird, isn't that awkward? And I was like, no, I love it.
My mum was
awesome.
the principal at my old school, dude.
Really?
That was rough. I can't remember too much, but I remember one time I got in trouble. Well, one time I got in trouble and I had to go to my mom. I got sent to my mom. Isn't that so awkward? It's like,
but also that's good because she's probably not gonna punish you as harshly.
I can't remember.
She can't have, because I mean, it's not like she's gonna put it on your records at the end of the day. That's like your mom.
She's like
she'll probably yell at you, but it's like if you did the
sure.
same thing at home, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. And then everyone was like, "Oh my god, you're Miss Hobson's daughter," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." Whatever.
Yeah, I know,
famous.
mate. That's me.
And then there was a period of time when my dad also worked at the school. So it was like me and like my whole family at one school.
All the Hobsonites were there.
Well, like me, Corey, and Beth, and then my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Really? Was it that good? I don't know. Like I think that'd be.
But I think me and my family are very close.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved here, I moved here with my brother and sister, well, Corey and Beth, which you've met, and well, the people have also met, and
yeah, true.
they actually have a few times.
Yeah.
And I've always been close to them, so I used to hang out with them all the time, and people were like, isn't it weird hanging out with your siblings? I'm like, no, it's just like hanging out with friends. Yeah. But I know a lot of siblings who won't hang out with each other, like with other friends.
Like yeah, I've never done that with my brother, that's for sure. Like
but that's a lot bigger of an age gap.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Ryan is like 9 years older than me, so. But
also when I go visit my eldest sister, who is 12 years older than me, I like hang out with her and her friends, and
but you're also older now though. Like I guess I could probably hang out with Ryan and his friends now. It wouldn't be weird, I don't think. But I don't know. I also haven't seen him in so long because of COVID and like you know, living apart. He stays in Asia and I stay here, so yeah. I think that also plays a part into it.
I think also because when me, my parents, and Corey and Beth moved to Canada, we had no family there. We had no friends there. So we hung out with each other a lot.
Yeah.
Because we had no other friends. So we literally had no other choice. And, you know, you actually get to know each other.
Yeah.
And you're all in the same position. It's almost like coming here for uni. It's like you're all in the same situation. You're all as lost as each other. So you find that common bond.
So you kind of bond through it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're very close as a family. And some people genuinely have been like, it's weird that you and your siblings are so close. I'm like, why? I think it's nice.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's better to be close to your siblings than to not be close to
It's
them, I
very
guess.
rare.
Yeah,
Like,
it is fairly rare, but
it's very rare.
you're special.
But
Oh.
I'm so special. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But, well, it seems like we're running a bit long on this one. So,
Oh my God, we are.
and I'm worried about the camera dying, so I think we're going to have to wrap up.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on This Could Be a Podcast. If you liked what you saw, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube and just about every major streaming platform out there. And apparently including Audible, which I found out today. We're
He added
on
us to that as
We're
well.
apparently on Audible as well. So if you have an Audible account, you can find us there, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.